Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my hero build series. I am Sylphin. In today's video we are doing a build very dear to my heart. It's my main hero, Muriel. We're taking a look at my, not famous for sure, by no means is it famous, but I love it, Rapid Shields build. So I have no idea why I even mentioned famous, because it's nothing about me is that. But here is the build, guys. What is it based on? Rapid shields being a whole bunch of cooldown reduction. 7, 15, 22, 27.5%. And then, of course, you get the white or the blue buff as much as possible. I have gone away with going straight to 40 cooldown reduction. I have found that you can use that CP elsewhere. Actually, maybe much more beneficial for you because you should be getting that blue buff really pretty much all the time. That's really should be helping you. So here is the build, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, starting off with a health, mana, and cast token. That's pretty much a must for a caster, especially a support like Muriel. Next, you go into the Sage's Ward for 200 health so that you can stay alive, body block for your friendly ranger. You can get in the way of enemy projectiles, absorb damage, stuff like that. Be the good support that you are. Next, into the Elysian Diamond. I absolutely freaking love this card. 200 health, 3 basic sparks, including the upgrades, and 2 points of damage. Perfect. It's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful early game card. I love it, love it, love it. This really sets you up in the early game right into probably pretty much a late game, really. I mean, that's really that powerful card, if you ask me. Right after that, we go into one of our tempered or tuned plates. So, right after that Elysian Diamond, like I said, going into one of our weak tempered or tuned cards here. Now, I don't have 1 point freaking guards or barriers. Ugh. Or else it would be 2 lesser healths and 1 lesser guard in here, but we just don't have them, for Pete's sakes. So this is how it goes. You go into one of them, whichever one is the majority of the enemy's team's damage in order to account for it. After that, then we go into Honor the Pure, which you save the upgrades for later. You don't fully upgrade them, you just get them when you need them after the Pendulum of Lords. Honor the Pure for that extra shield. Boy, has that come in handy. You might think that it is really not that much, but it is. It really, really is. I have saved a lot of people with it. It's another extra little shield that you can throw in between all of your others, and of course this applies for all nearby allies, so it's really, really great in an ultimate, and an enemy ultimate like that, something like that. It is really powerful. I really do like it. After the Honor of the Pure, go into the Pendulum of Lords for a whole bunch of chrono, and after this chrono, then you can go back and get that mana that you definitely will need. After that Pendulum of Lords and the Honor of the Pure upgrades, then we go into your other weak tempered or tuned, whichever one you didn't pick up, you then get it. And then you go into, it kind of depends. Like, I kind of, you know, I throw things around if we're ahead, if I don't really need that tankiness. You know, I'll get Honor the Pure, and then the weak one, and then I'll go straight into Satori Cloak. But whatever. The general kind of build is, once you get the off weak tempered or tuned, then you go into the strong tempered or tuned plate with an alpha health, a divine health, and then you can choose between, you know, 1 guard or 2 guards and only the alpha health. You always get that alpha health, but if there's a ton of physical damage here, I would get the alpha health and then 2 2-point guards. You upgrade both your weak ones here for the strong ones now that you have, you know, Honor the Pure, and could definitely throw in Satori Cloak before you upgrade the other weak tempered or tuned. Then you get the Satori Cloak, and then you get the Magus Ward, which finishes off the build and replaces your Sage's Ward here. Where is it? And that's right, I did tweak this build. We don't ever replace our Sage's Ward. We keep it the entire time. Just because that 200 health I figured was a little bit better than 150 mana. Just because that's what I've come in. We have a lot of mana with the Honor of the Pure, so there you go. Final build, guys. Satori Cloak enables us to hit with our basic attacks on whoever our team is focusing. And we can shred their physical and energy armor equal to 50% of ours, which we will have some, so it'll definitely be very nice to help our friendly team. Honor the Pure again for a whole whack ton of mana that you definitely need, as you'll be spamming your abilities a whole ton, and mana regen just can't keep up. That shield, again, I've already discussed, is absolutely freaking amazing. The 2 tempered attuned with all of that health is mathematically correct. You will get more effective HP out of this than any other combination. Then you have your Sage's Ward, wards you just really, really need the whole time. And Pendulum Allures for that crazy cooldown reduction, which you top off with the blue buff. Let's get into the gameplay. So, ladies and gentlemen, in this game, we just so happen to help out our Murdoch here get red buff. So that is exactly what we do. Help him get red buff because of the camp here. We choose to get our E ability first, which is called Consecrated Ground. Gives your friendly allies a shield the moment that they enter it, or the moment that it appears on top of them. And it also deals damage to enemy minions and enemy heroes. There is a delay over it. It's not too bad if you put it right on top of the enemy, right in the middle. Enemy will definitely get damaged by it. So it's really quite easy to land that if you want to deal damage. But it is such an effective shield for your allies that really that's the main purpose of using the ability. The shield lasts for quite a long time. I don't believe it ever really says 5 seconds. Yeah, so it does last for 5 seconds, and it's much better than the other ability here that we get second. It's called Alacrity, I do believe. I mean, I should really know. She is my main. That shields a ally for 60 shield, and it also gives them a max movement speed bonus. So that is that is the ability that I choose to go with first if we don't get the red buff, the Ranger and I use that simply because that increased max movement speed helps so much more than that extra shield that you get from your Consecrated Ground, because they can run away while being shielded, and that saves people's lives much more. So we get her right click or second right trigger called Alacrity first, and then you get Consecrated Ground second. So here in this early game, really we are just focusing on getting these last hits. I'm trying to maybe help the Murdoch get these last hits. Trying to protect him as much as possible. I'm being a little bit cheeky here, going forward, tickling the Murdoch a little bit. I'm really not too worried about this composition, unless, I mean, the Iggy and Scorch really gets his ultimate and then somehow comes from behind. I'm not really too worried, but having an easy time. It's pretty chill. Just gonna last hitting, helping your Ranger, etc., etc. The last ability we got is called her. What is it called? I always forget. This one is Serenity. Yes, this one's Serenity. I always get Serenity and Alacrity mixed up. For some reason, I kind of think that they're the same name or something. I don't know. Serenity, it fires a projectile that when it hits, it slows the enemy hero. So it's actually really, really good to secure some friendly damage on an enemy hero. I really, really like it for a burst of damage, especially here in the early game. You do a significant amount in the early game. It's actually quite deceiving if you can get a good basic attack into a Serenity followed by another basic attack. It's actually quite a bit of damage. You can really surprise people, but that slow is monstrous. Too many times I have slowed an enemy to their death, enabling just that one last, you know, little bit of damage to finish them off. It's really actually quite, it's quite surprising. It's really quite surprising. It's really quite powerful. Slowing an enemy inside of a friendly AoE ability, slowing them for somebody to catch up to use their to use their stun, to use their slow, etc. If you can get in the minds of your allies and kind of anticipate what they're going to do next, you can do a really good job. You can do a really good job. It's actually really quite the ability. Like usual, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to support the channel, please head on over to my Patreon account to become a monthly subscriber, or simply head on over to my Amazon wish list if you would like to support the channel that way. So here we are heading back to our right lane here with our friendly Murdoch. This was a pretty strange game, and I went back. My Murdoch finally, you know, got the chance to go back to base and get his card power. And by the time I got the chance to, I had 12 card power to use up. So that is when we got our Sage's Ward, 2 1-point casts, 1 health, so 200 total health there, and our Elysian Diamond, 1 cast and 2 basic sparks, or one minor cast and 2 basic sparks. So now we have 400 extra health all of a sudden. We have 3 points of mana regen, and we have, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 extra points of cast damage. We are very well-rounded right now with that Elysian Diamond. It's a fantastic, I love the card so much because it is so powerful. We are very well-rounded here, and you're going to start seeing me, I believe, I'm trying to think like, okay, I can use my abilities more, I can use my shields more to mitigate more damage, so hopefully it doesn't use his thing here enough. So here I'm like, ooh boy, I'm not too sure. I don't really want to follow the Grux too much because I feel like maybe he's made his own mistake and I'm leaving to his fate, but I choose to go in, use my ultimate here because he is getting low. I choose to do that, but the great steel ultimate here, great long arm of the law, and I'm just trying to use my abilities here, trying to stay with my team, but it looks like our team just can't get enough, and I am trying to be a good support and going and kind of go around to, you know, and just trying to body block there for my friendly team, as you saw, but we come out even with the enemy team, 3-4-3. So after that kind of not the best engagement, we switch over to mid lane to defend that, and I make a boo-boo here. I do make a boo-boo, something that I hope you can learn from. Your ADC, your Ranger, your carry needs support. And who else to get that support but from your support player? I stick in this mid lane far too long, and you really need to be with your carry. He happens to do just fine. He happens to do just fine. Get his card power and whatnot. He doesn't end up dying, but I could have been with him, helping him much more. See, he actually comes to me. You can see him right here, Whisker Biscuit. Actually comes to me. Maybe that was, I'm not sure why. I do remember going, why is nobody right lane? Why is nobody left lane? Defend left lane, or defend right lane. Sorry. And I'm kind of like, what's going on? And then it kind of occurs to me that I should be with him. For whatever reason, I was stuck in this weird sort of mental state that I was like, this mid lane is super important, and I'm staying here for some reason, and I didn't really know why. Devon, as you can see here on Bellica, is like, defend right lane, defend right lane. And then eventually he just types it out to me because I'm just totally clueless. Go right lane, Muriel, what are you doing? I was like, all right. So stay with your Ranger, stay with your carry as a support player because you really need that. Especially somebody like Muriel. It's a really easy to anticipate the damage that can come, and you can you can use your shields really easy and really help out your support. So two things that happens here. My body blocking that steel has definitely discouraged him from engaging on our Bellica that I was really worried about there. So body blocking there, a little bit of engaging him as he was coming up those stairs definitely really helped. Now before that, on that Bellica, on the enemy, the enemy Countess that was in her tower there, I did get a good basic attack into Serenity, and did that damage, did that slow really quite fast, and actually did surprise her. Did a lot of damage here. So here's the other. There was me doing that whole combo as well. As you can see, on a Countess who arguably doesn't have that much health, it still does quite a bit of damage, and it is really, really nice. And you can see I'm looking over there. I'm like, he's alone, and Bellica's like, defend right lane, defend right lane. I'm like, it is being defended, but here I am, totally clueless. But watch this. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, with Serenity picked there as she's running, trying to escape up that little ramp there. I felt really good. That was good. It didn't really maybe not seem all that impressive here, but it was pretty nice. We do end up getting quite a bit of damage off on this off on that tower, which is kind of what I wanted to do. But it's right now that Bellica finally just spells it up for me as she's trying to basic attack me to tell me to go right lane, which I definitely should have been there much earlier. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, getting our tempered or tuned barrier. You can see that it's taken me some time. I'm taking a look at the enemy team. We see that they have energy, physical, energy, 3 physical damage heroes, especially with a Bellica and a Scorch and Murdoch here. They're going to be doing quite a bit of damage, so we do go for our tuned barrier, as you can see right here, with the 2 barrier and 2 lesser health. Like I said, I would much prefer that to be a 1-point barrier, but I just don't freaking have it. Here is another boo-boo, ladies and gentlemen. I am not paying attention as you can see, as I round the bend, that Murdoch really needed me. Paying attention to the minimap is so important as Muriel. Every time I pick her up to play again, I am just incredibly surprised all the time of exactly how much map awareness you need. You absolutely need to be paying attention as to what is happening on the minimap, because you need that awareness to use your ultimate, which I just realized I did not explain. It's called Reversal of Fortune. You fly to an enemy, to an ally, anywhere on the map, after a delay, which is really important because that has really messed me up so many times. You really have to get used to that little bit of a delay that it takes for her to unfold her wings, and then you're ready to go. The ally instantly receives a small shield, though. As soon as you take off, the shield is applied, which is kind of cool. If it was the other way around, when you land, you apply that shield, that would be pretty hard to get. So here I just escape from that steel ultimate to a friendly team here. And that is another use case for the ability. You can use it to escape sticky situations, but you have to pay attention to the crowd control on the enemy team. There, I knew that steel was the only one with the crowd control. I knew that he had used his charge already to engage me there before. So I knew that his ultimate was there, so I knew I had to be really quick with it. Now you're just kind of spamming your left click in order to just as immediately as soon as you can transport right to your friendly team. So here is a good example of me actually paying attention to the minimap, and I take a look at my ranger here, and I'm like, he's in trouble. I go right onto the teammate that I thought that against first was attacking, and he was. Made sure I shielded the Murdoch and keep him alive. Really, Muriel's just a big, huge lesson on map awareness. You see there, I was a fraction of a second too late for planting my the area of effect, consecrated ground, on that Murdoch. I was a fraction of a second too late. I saw her running straight up to him. I was like, so I'm spamming the ability. It just came off cooldown and wasn't able to save him. There's definitely been a few moments here in this game that I have made some mistakes. I have had previous games here where I was just perfect, really. Not perfect, but I got a lot of my ultimates off on very key times in the match, and really, I don't really want to show you those. I want to show you these, where there's a few little mistakes here that you can definitely see improvement. Here you can see that I'm kind of peeling for my Bellica. I'm like, ooh, don't you dare. I'm kind of like wondering, what is he doing all alone? But maybe he now realizes that he's all alone. Again, that slow is really powerful, as you can see. We're doing a nice job, just picking on him, and trying to do as much as we can. So here we go. There's that shield in very key times, but the damn long arm of the law takes me out. Thinking about the Honor of the Pure there would have been very, very key. That would have been a great time for me to use it, but I had already used it, and it was off cooldown. So here's another example. I am looking at my minimap. I'm like, oh no, my teammate is surrounded. So I'm just waiting for the moment. I'm like, oh, he did get away. Fantastic. Need to be paying attention. Here's another time when I'm like, oh, I see something, and I go in. Her ultimate is a great way to traverse the map as well. Definitely don't waste your ultimate to just traverse across the map. Definitely don't waste it. But you can go back and re-engage on the map if there is a good, if there's a good opportunity for you to use it. Definitely don't want, I wouldn't say though to waste your ultimate. As you just saw there, I did use my Alacrity, or my Serenity, sorry. Alacrity, no, that's the shield one, my goodness. To try to get our Countess to follow the enemy Countess, but I ended up hitting the Murdoch. The thing about your Alacrity is that it is a projectile. You do, cast this orb that travels pretty much in a straight line. There's almost no arc to it. And you have to be accurate with it. It really is quite difficult to be accurate with it. I've hit some pretty good clutch, some clutch Alacrities, but it's hard. It's the easiest way to use it on yourself is actually you just aim straight down, and then you can use Alacrity, and it immediately gets on you. You've seen that. You've seen me use it a few times where you can escape. Use it as a great escape tool to get away or to chase somebody down. That really isn't. I don't think I've ever really done that. Maybe a few times, but that's very situational, of course. So here we are back at base, getting our Pendulum of Lords fully upgraded. We haven't gotten any of that mana yet, though, on the Honor of the Pure, because I wanted to get the other weak tempered or tuned barrier plate. So as you can see, we have our weak tempered plate, our weak tuned barrier, our Honor of the Pure with no mana on it, and our Pendulum of Lords fully upgraded. So here is a perfect opportunity. I'm trying to pick the hero here that's lowest and most in deep there, but I just couldn't get, I couldn't shield him enough as you can see, I use my Honor the Pure. Right there, you can see I used Honor the Pure, and I used my Consecrated Ground. It still wasn't enough, and c'est la vie. It wasn't enough, and now I'm totally brain dead here. I am apparently wanting to take down the tower all by myself, and I get taken out. A little lack of map awareness there, and that cost me my life. So, as I have said before, getting the blue buff is very, very important. It helps with your mana regen, which now, because we have that fully upgraded Pendulum of Lords, we're going to have a good amount of cooldown reduction. With the blue buff as well, that's 35% cooldown reduction, I do believe. If I did the math right there. That's a lot. So, you kind of... Muriel plays, like, almost differently, depending on how much cooldown reduction you have. If you have a lot of it, she plays really differently. She really, really does. She feels like a really fast caster hero. So here I am. You can see my Honor the Pure just went off there. That extra shield. And as you can see, I'm shielding him so much. I turn around to use my my Consecrated Ground, but it was 1 second off cooldown. Here I use it on myself. My friendly team comes in, totally demolishes the enemy. It's 2 for 1 as I stay alive. Look at that tankiness, that helpful support that you can be to try to take the hits. I was trying to get in between that enemy Murdoch and my friendly Murdoch to absorb those hits, but it's just so hard when people aren't necessarily used to playing with a friendly Muriel, used to just kind of traveling straight back in a line and depending on your Muriel to take those hits, your support to take those hits for you, because if you're sidestepping and stuff, it's almost impossible for a support to also be looking straight behind, because the whole third person thing is really hard. So I wasn't able to do that, but we were able to stay alive, cause a 2 for 1. And that was really quite impressive. Here I'm struggling between going mid lane, helping out my team who is low on health, but I don't have my ultimate as I just used it on the Murdoch. So I'm like, let's go back. Let's get this pushed in the right direction. I will get my mana and health back up. Get our next cards here, which happens to be our Satori Cloak that I wanted, just because we were ahead. I was okay with the blue buff. Giving me that mana regen, so I didn't want to get any mana there. Chose to do this Satori Cloak to give us an even more of an advantage, and the enemy team surrenders. So there is the kind of gameplay here. It's not the most dominant display that I have ever done before. Definitely not. I've had much better performances on Muriel, but I think that this gave you a good balance between some pretty okay plays and some not so great plays. You need that balance. You need that example of excellence, kind of, to try to strive towards. But you also need those errors, those examples of places to get better in order to actually really learn. So hopefully you guys did that. There was the build on the earlier. Some key takeaways. Really, map awareness is huge with Muriel. You want that ultimate available to you when you go back to base, because usually there's a time for you to use it in order to get back to the middle of the map. Usually there's an ally that could probably use it, or for some reason usually just the stars align, and of course as soon as you go back to base somebody needs your help. So more often than not, I'm returning to base going, getting all my upgrades and all my cards because somebody's in trouble and I have to go leave immediately, right? So you try to have your ultimate off of cooldown when you go back to base. Try to anticipate enemy damage. That's really how Muriel works. It's a shield, right, that only lasts for so long, so you have to anticipate the enemy damage. Try to be a helpful hero. Stand in the way of enemy ranged heroes and absorb those projectiles yourself. Try to absorb those, enable your friendly teams to survive, deal that damage, and win the match. there you guys have it. There's a hero building guide for my lovely, lovely, lovely Rapid Shields build that I still need some key cards for, still need some key upgrades for. And I hope that you guys enjoyed. Please like the video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it, share it with the community. Of course, guys, subscribe if you found this helpful or simply enjoyed it. Please subscribe so I can do it for you later. Until next time, like always, stay optimistic and positive.